I don't know why that didn't work, but there we go. I don't know why that didn't work. Let's start again. Welcome to TSK F1. This morning we're going to be talking about the FIA president and his personal style of leadership, and also Fred Vasseur not speaking to Toto Wolff, and we'll have a little look at a concept of the new Williams livery. It's not the official one, but it looks very cool indeed. So we'll have a quick look at that. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for letting me know about the audio issue. I'm not sure what happened there, but thank you very, very much. But, okay, F1 teams have been saying that what the FIA president has been saying is a major overstep of where he should be. And Sky Sports, as usual, are kind of prodding and poking the fire, if you like, with Craig Slater citing high-ranking individuals at teams that are not happy. No reply has come from the FIA to F1's letter, but I can also say that positive conversations continue between the two institutions, so they're functioning normally as they need to keep the sport operating properly. But people are telling him that they have issues with this kind of personal style of leadership that Mohammed Ben Sulayem has at the FIA. And these are high-ranking individuals from a number of F1 teams. So this is the thing. Craig Slater of Sky Sports is basically saying that the sport, FIA, F1 are working well together as they should be, but people, high-ranking individuals in F1 teams, are speaking to Craig Slater from Sky Sports and telling him that they're not happy with his personal style of leadership. What do you guys think to that? Do you think Craig Slater has got those sources? Do you think they are saying those things to him? Do you think they want to leak that out there? I don't know. I don't know, because the thing is with Sky Sports, I to coin a phrase from others, I tend to find them slow sports news, and that they'll say anything to provoke a little bit of animosity and a little bit of back and forth, because really that's what gets people talking. And Sky Sports aren't silly. They know that. Sky as a whole know this, that you've got to create the division to get people talking, and that's how social media works these days. Now, is it true? Is it true? I don't know. I don't really see what the problem is with what is said up to this point. I mean, we've covered it. I've covered it quite a lot now. But for the FIA president to point out that the F1 intellectual property in the commercial rights are basically leased out, and the FIA still, it's theirs, and that the price shouldn't be overinflated, and we need to be careful if there is a bid who potentially takes over Formula One in the future, because you have to ensure the sport's integrity and its future and the direction they want to take. And I don't see anything wrong with that, and I don't see that as a personal style of leadership in any way whatsoever. Unless there are some comments that I've missed, I'm not sure how much I'm on board with these quotes, because to me, it's just someone saying words, isn't it? You know, you've got to trust that he has those sources and that those people are saying that. What even is a high-ranking individual within a Formula One team? Apparently a number of them. So you would take from that he's gone around quite a few teams wanting a quote, and they're saying, just call me a high-ranking individual. Maybe, but is it the stance of Formula One or the teams? I don't know. About time someone got in there and shook things up. Too many years of the teams walking all over the FIA. Well, yeah, you could say that as well. You could say that as well. Second news piece is Christian Horner reacting to the interesting movements, as he's called them, around the grid when we're talking about management within Formula One, with Frederic Vasseur going over to Ferrari, and you've got Seidel going from McLaren to Alfa Romeo, and then the stuff going on at Williams as well. Horner told Motorsport magazine, "It's been interesting to watch the movement. I've sympathy for Mattia because ultimately he'd done a good job." And I'm going to jump in. I still think Binotto, they've gone too early on that. I'd have given him another season. The trend was upward. There were a lot of mistakes made last season, on him or not. I feel like you've got to give him a chance to fix those issues as they're on that upward trend. It's not as if there's not going to be growing pains, and I would have given him another season. I would have given him another season. Yes, last year it was a big step forward to where they've been. So that must be tough for him after such long service that he'd given to Ferrari. Completely. Look, I don't say this often. I'm completely in agreement with Christian Horner. Binotto had worked there ages, a long time. I think it was like 20 years. And then he was on the upward trend. I know people these days want instant everything. But if you look at where they'd been and where they were going, I think Binotto should have had another season. And if it had gone all wrong next season, okay. But I think the trend was there, that they were on the upward, they were on the upward curve, Fred, it'll be interesting to see if he's still arguing about the same point that he was for Sauber in the upcoming meetings. But again, he's a very capable guy. So, yeah, it'll be very interesting. I'm sure they're all very capable people. So we'll get to see what the dynamics are in the next Formula One Commission meeting. Horner on Val's move to Williams. I don't know James particularly well, but he's obviously a very capable guy. Williams will have done their due diligence and research, and I think that it's great that they're giving him a chance to make that step up. So I think that can only be good news for Williams. And is there anything attached to that? Williams would obviously have done what's right for them and their business, but only they know what's been agreed and that early release to have happened. Well, I guess he's alluding to the fact that a lot of people are saying this is or probably will be some kind of apprenticeship for James Vowles to go back and take over at Mercedes. I'm not on board with that. I really think this is a guy who has been at a team for like 20 years because he was over at Mercedes before there were Mercedes, through I think he was there through BAI years, Braun years. I think he's always been there. And I think this is a guy, you get into a situation, and some of you may have been there in your own lives, where you're like, okay, I've hit the ceiling of where I'm at, unless something happens, higher up, which doesn't seem like it's a thing. It's time for me to go and see what I can do. And that's what I get from that. And to me, that's quite a normal thing. I've done it in my past with jobs where you get to a point and it's like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to test myself. It's time to make a step up. And I think it's quite a common thing. And I think the circus of Formula One and Formula One media, not too dissimilar from what I was just saying about Sky Sports, like to attach these things just to get a conversation going, when really I don't see any proof or anything of that other than Williams have got Mercedes engines, and I think it was a surprising appointment to some, even though really I think he's very qualified, is James Vowles going to Williams. I think they could have made a much worse hire than they have, No one's screaming about the McLaren appointment, for example. Did you cover the Mick can sit in a McLaren story? No, I haven't actually, and that got missed this morning because I was doing different things. But I will quickly say this as well. Obviously, we reported yesterday that, I think it was yesterday, that Mick Schumacher had his seat fitting in the Mercedes, but he also had a seat fitting in the McLaren and is available to McLaren as a reserve driver, should they so choose, as part of their deal with Mercedes. So both McLaren and Mercedes can call upon Mick Schumacher if they require an extra driver. And I don't know how to pronounce his name, but McLaren also have Alex Palau. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I believe he's an IndyCar driver that they can call upon. And it'd be interesting to see who they picked. If they needed someone to cover Lando or Piastri for some reason. But yes, Mick Schumacher can go in either car, which is quite an interesting one. So we'll move on to the new Ferrari boss, Frederic Vasseur, which actually we reported very early on this channel that this was going to happen. Way before other people, actually. We jumped on it very early from a small Italian publication that said it. But Vasseur has told Sports Mole that he doesn't talk to Toto Wolff since moving to Ferrari. But that's more to do with the rivalry of the teams, sort of thing. He's said, "We'll fight on track. We will argue in front of the race management and the FIA and also the Concord Agreement, but for the greater good. It's an excellent advantage that there is collaboration between the teams. I have a good relationship with almost all of my colleagues, which I think is always a good thing. But then be sure I will fight like hell with Toto out on track." Now, I don't know if any of you have seen much of Frederic Vasseur. He seems such a funny, sarcastic yet really, really strong personality. There was a clip circulating the other day where a journalist was asking about the new car and if there was anything he could share about the new car. And he mumbled a little bit and then just said he can share that it will be red. But it was his delivery, super dry guy, funny guy. But I also think he has sort of the potential to be super strict, super harsh, and things like that. But I think that's a good thing when you see that balance in a personality, that you kind of get that vibe that they've got that strict side in them when needs must, but also they've got that sort of laid back, approachable thing going on. And I get that from Zach Brown as well. I was messaging John from the Sausage Curd this morning, actually, and we're on about a few things, but I think about Zach Brown in that way as well. I think he has a very sort of fun or charismatic approach, Zach Brown. But I also get the vibe when the chips are down that he is extremely harsh and strict. And I think that's what Fred Vasseur is like. And hopefully it's a good thing for Ferrari. What I just said, and I'll stand by it, is that I think Binotto should have had one more season. That's not that Vasseur doesn't deserve it. I just think that Ferrari were on an upward trend, and they should have given him another season, quite honestly. I'd love to know what you think on that. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that. The jury of social media is definitely a harsh one. But yeah, I think he should have been given another season. Please do make sure you're hitting that like on this stream and subscribing down in the bottom right-hand corner, guys. Okay, so probably what everyone has tuned in for, a little concept art here of potentially the new Williams racing car. Now, look at this bad boy. Wouldn't that be awesome to see on the grid? Wouldn't that be awesome to see on the grid? Now, Gulf Oil left McLaren last season, I believe, and they've teased about a return to the grid, and lots of people are saying it's with Williams. And then I found this as well, and I just thought, God, that is a good-looking car. The other season, McLaren obviously ran that special Gulf livery, and I didn't mind it, but it was missing something. But this is a concept. I really want to be very, very, very clear. This isn't the livery. This is a concept, because Gulf Oil, like I said, left McLaren last season as a sponsor, and they've been on about coming back into F1 with another team. And sources, lots of sources, are saying it's with Williams. And then someone has taken that and said, what if they're the title sponsor? Let's see what we get. And honestly, I think this is better looking than the McLaren that we had a few years ago. The Williams launch, incidentally, is on the 6th. And from what I've seen, it's going to be handled on the Williams app. Now, I'm going to be covering this. I'm going to be covering this as well as I possibly can. But I think the live reveal is on the Williams app. So I think what I'm going to do with all of the launches, because we've got Red Bull tomorrow and I can't find a time for that either. I'm going to do my best to just cover it live as I did the other day with the Haas one. Keep an eye on the socials and things like that, and then try and cover it and see what we can get, and give my live reaction to them. So long as they're at a time where I can live stream it. But this is a concept, and my lord, I really hope the Williams does look like that, because they're using the Gulf colours beautifully there. And I think the Williams, the person, by the way, that is doing these, I'm going to give a shout out, is Shariah Nayar on Reddit. Shariah Nayar. And they're the ones who also did one of the Haas concepts as well. Absolutely unbelievable work. Absolutely unbelievable work. Very, very good. Very good indeed. And I really hope the Williams can look like this. I don't know if they'll stick with the blue colours, but I really do want it to look something like that. It'd be mad, and that would look filthy on the grid, in my opinion. But there we have it. There's your morning dose of F1 news. Tomorrow, if anyone does know the time of the Red Bull launch tomorrow, please do let me know in the comments, because I can't find an actual time for it, just that it's tomorrow. I'm sure Red Bull tomorrow, yeah, 3rd. And they're launching in New York. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I know. They're launching in New York. It's tomorrow, and I don't know what time. But I guess if it fits New York, then it's going to be afternoon for us at best. So in the UK, that is. So if anyone does know, let me know in the comments. But yeah, until tomorrow morning, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy. Please like and subscribe. See you later. Cheers.